Hello everyone, and welcome to the first video of the Politically Political Politics channel. This video will be a 2020 election prediction between President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. I'm going to be going through these states in the format in which they should be gone through, which is the poll closing format. I'm going to sort of make it look like an actual election. So we'll start off with the 7 PM poll closings. I'll be doing these with these safe, likely, leaning, and tilt margins. First video, so let's get right into it. 7 PM poll closings, that will be Vermont, which I think will go safely for Joe Biden. Let's see, Virginia will be a swing state. Let's see, Georgia, anything less than safe I won't put right now, so even if a state's going to be likely at the end of this video, I still won't characterize it like that. So for now I'm just going to go through the poll closing format, filling in only the safe states. So Georgia would not be safe, so I'll fill that in with the toss-up. Let's see, South Carolina will be safe, I think, and so will Kentucky and Indiana. And there we have it. Those were the 7 PM poll closings. 7:30 PM, it's only West Virginia that we'll be filling in. The others are swing states, Ohio and North Carolina. 8 PM, that'll be the biggest batch of poll closings. So we have Maine, in which the 1st congressional district will be safe, I think. Joe Biden will do pretty well. The rest of Maine is a toss-up. Actually, no. 2nd district, I think, will be safe for President Trump. I think it'll be above the 10% point, which is the safe margin for me. Maine at large, I think, will be a toss-up for now. Just for now. We've got New Hampshire, which I think will be a swing state. We have a lot of states in which will be safe, so that's Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware will definitely be safe, Maryland, and the District of Columbia. All of those are safe. We also have Pennsylvania, which will be a swing state for now. We have Florida, which will also be a swing state. It's contested every election season, so that'll be close. We have some Republican states, though, which will be safe, and that'll be states like Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Missouri, and of course not forgetting Illinois, which will go by a safe margin to Joe Biden. Then we move on to 8:30, which is just Arkansas, which will go for Trump by a very large amount. And then we have 9 PM, so New York is safe for Joe Biden. Michigan is a swing state. We have Wisconsin as a swing state. We have Minnesota as a swing state. We have some Republican states as well. That's North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, but only The second district is not safe, so I'll leave that as a toss-up district. We also have Kansas, and we also have Texas, which I think will be a safe state. Trump won it by, let me just see here, Texas was 9%, so I think Trump will gain back the 1% needed to push it into the safe column. Trump got 52.23% of the vote in Texas, and Hillary Clinton got 43.24%. So that's about 9%. So I think Trump will be able to get back at least some of those Mitt Romney voters that left him, and thus push it into a safe margin of above 10%. We also need to fill in the state of Louisiana, which will be safe for Trump in this election at least. We also have to fill in Wyoming, obviously safe red. We also need to fill in Colorado, which will be a swing state, and New Mexico. And New Mexico, I'm going to say it's a swing state, so less than 10%. And of course Arizona, which is also a swing state. That concludes the 9 PM poll closings. We have the 10 PM poll closings now, which is Iowa. Oh, that was not supposed to happen. We have Iowa. We have got Nevada as well, which is a swing state. We have got 2 states for Trump as well, which is Utah and Montana. And now we go into 11 PM. Idaho goes to Donald Trump, and Washington, Oregon, California all go to Joe Biden, and Hawaii goes to Joe Biden as well. And then 1 AM rolls around and we give Alaska to President Trump. So that's 164 electoral votes for President Trump and 183 for Vice President Biden. Biden's in the lead right now. So let's get characterizing some of these swing states. Maine at large, I think it's difficult to say how I think Maine at large will go, because it was very close in 2016. Trump got 44.87% of the vote there. Hillary Clinton got 47.83% of the vote there, so it's about 3% difference. It just depends on how well Trump is able to do in terms of turnout in Maine. However, I just don't know, to be honest. 3% is what we have to make up. I think with the incumbency advantage, I think I'll put Maine at large in the tilt Republican column. It'll be very close, and I could turn it back to the Democrats, but I think we could see a slightly bigger swing, especially if we look at trends. I mean, in the 2016 results were just what I said before, 44.87% for Trump and 47.83% for Clinton. You look at the 2012 results, and that's that's a whopping 56.27% for President Obama and 40.98% for Mitt Romney. So that's a huge change, and even if we go back to 2008, we look at Maine. It was 57.71% for Obama. So, you know, you look at 57, 56, and now this drastic swing in favour of the Republicans. I think, you know, Trump could, you know, edge it out somehow. New Hampshire. New Hampshire was extremely close. Like, really, really extremely close. New Hampshire was, you know, 46.61% for Trump and 46.98% for Clinton. So that's about 0.4%. With the incumbency advantage, I think Trump could turn it over and put it in the lean column. Let's see. The state of Pennsylvania. Now, out of the 3 Rust Belt states that Trump carried in 2016, I think Pennsylvania would be the closest with Joe Biden running, because it's his home state. So I'm not sure how this would go. I mean, Trump does tap in quite well with what Pennsylvania's voters want. He managed to win the state in 2016. I just don't know. I mean, in 2016 he did manage to get 48.18% of the vote. Could he gain 2% of the voters? Ordinarily I would have said yes, but I think the home state factor for Joe Biden and Trump's incumbency advantage in Pennsylvania, I think they will cancel out. It'll be a tilt margin, but do I put it in the red or blue column? I think I'll put it in the Joe Biden column for now because of Trump's low approval rating there. But this could change, and it is quite a long way out. Let's see. We have Virginia or Ohio. I'll go with Virginia next. Virginia's quite an interesting state. Trump lost Virginia 44.41% to 49.73%, so that's more than 5%. However, Tim Kaine was the vice presidential nominee, and I think that played an awfully big part in why Virginia went for Clinton by such a large margin. And if we look at the approval rating polls in Virginia, it's only a negative 6% approval rating for President Trump in Virginia at the moment. Without Tim Kaine, and with this very low approval, with this relatively high approval rating, I think Trump could take Virginia in the lean category. It's not going to be a complete, wipeout. However, I think he could pull it off. North Carolina, I think would go for Trump by a lean margin as well. I don't think it'll be quite enough to get it into the likely margin. Although, let's just see. North Carolina, it was nearly 3% that Trump won it by. So even if I think it would max out at about 4% or just under 5%. So it would be narrowly in the lean column. Georgia, I think, Georgia would probably be likely for Trump. He won it by about 5% in 2016, even if I don't see him gaining 5% in Georgia, to be honest. We'd have to see a lot of the Mitt Romney Republicans come back to Trump. Because in 2012, Mitt Romney did very well in Georgia. He won it by 8%. About 8%. But even if the Mitt Romney voters did come back, that's still only 8%. So I think I don't think Trump would break 10% in Georgia. In Florida, I think Florida would go to Trump. He's got quite. He was approved there for quite a long time, and even now he still has a. Let's just see here, a 0% approval rating. So, half approve, half disapprove, 50%. So, inevitably there will be some third-party votes going on. So, if Trump is able to keep 50%, then he's going to win the state. And it would also mean that he will have actually expanded on his voting base, because in 2016 he got 49% of the vote. Assuming the approval rating poll is correct, that's 50%. So he's actually gained voters in Florida, 1%. And then you look at Hillary Clinton's total, that was 47.82%. So let's call it 48. So it's in the lean, maybe 2 to 3%. Ohio now. Ohio, the Buckeye state. It went for Trump very, very solidly in 2016, almost by a safe margin, 8%. I actually think that Trump could gain voters there and turn it into a safe state. 8%, we could see it edge up to 10. I think he'll do quite well in Ohio, especially with the incumbency factor. Michigan is a swing state in this election yet again. Quite difficult to call. Trump managed to get 47.5% of the vote there, which was just 0.23% more than what Hillary Clinton managed to get. I'm not sure if the appeal will reach across from Pennsylvania into Michigan. I think because it's not Joe Biden's home state, I think I would give Michigan to Trump in the tilt category. It'll be very close though. I don't think it would go into a lean margin because of Joe Biden's relatively good appeal with the white working class voters in these Rust Belt states. Wisconsin, Trump got 47.22% of the vote there, and Hillary Clinton got 46.45% of the vote there, so a better margin for Trump. But again, Joe Biden's a different candidate. I think he would do quite well there, and it would cancel out pretty much any incumbency advantage that Trump would have. I think Wisconsin would go by, again, a tilt margin for Trump. Iowa now. Iowa was very interesting. Iowa was almost 10% for Trump. It was 51.15% for Trump and 41.74% for Hillary Clinton. I think Iowa will be safe. I think Trump will find that 1% of voters in the state. He'll be able to turn them over, and it'll push it up to 10%. In the state of Minnesota, I mean, he lost Minnesota in 2016. He got 44.92% of the vote. Hillary Clinton got 46.44%. So it's about 2.5%. I think Minnesota would lean for Joe Biden, to be honest. There's just not enough there at the moment to convince me that Trump could win it. I think the incumbency advantage will be cancelled out, I think, in Minnesota as well. And so it wouldn't get under 1% for Joe Biden, I don't think. I don't see personally, Trump winning it yet, especially with Joe Biden. Maybe with other candidates, but not with Joe Biden. Minnesota remains in the lean column. Let's see, Colorado. Colorado went for Hillary Clinton by about 5%. I'm not sure whether to put it in the... I think I'll put it in the lean Democratic column, because I just don't think that Biden will be able to get it above 5%, the margin, with Trump's incumbency advantage. I'm thinking maybe Biden wins it by about maybe 4% or close to that. It could go into the likely column, but I think it would narrowly remain in the lean column. New Mexico went for Hillary Clinton by more than 8%, which is why you'd think I'd put it in the likely column, and that's what I will be doing. Likely state for Joe Biden. I just don't think Biden will be able to get it above 10%. I think maybe 9%, maybe just under 10%, but I just don't think Biden will be able to crack 10% in New Mexico. Arizona, it's a state that went for Trump by about 3%. I don't think Joe Biden is the candidate to inspire Latino voters to come out to vote. But then at the same time, Arizona is trending a little bit Democratic. It elected a Democratic senator in 2018. But I just don't think Biden will be able to take the state. With the Republican turnout being higher than it was in the midterms, I think Trump will be able to pull it off, and the incumbency advantage would come into that as well. So I think Trump wins it by about the same margin as he won it back in 2016, maybe 4%. So he expands a little bit, but maybe in future videos I'll put it in the likely column. But for now, I think in the lean column is quite sensible. Nevada now. It's always close. It was supposed to go for Trump in 2016. It went for Hillary Clinton. The polls actually showed Trump winning in Nevada, which was unusual because he lost. And he lost by about I'll say about 2.5%, I would say. So 45.50% of the vote to 47.92%. Or would Trump be able to turn that over in Nevada? I think he'd have to campaign there if he would want the state. I mean, it's quite tricky because it could go into the tilt column for Joe Biden if it got really close. I mean, in the Democratic primary it did go for Hillary Clinton, so they prefer more moderate candidates. I think I'll put it in the tilt column for Joe Biden. And that just leaves Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, which I think would I think it would go by a lean margin for President Trump. My reasoning for that is Trump won that district by more than 2% in 2016. I think with the incumbency advantage and the strong economy, I think he could really capitalise on that. But I don't think he would capitalise on it enough to push it over 5% into the likely category. So, yes, I think this is it for now. This is my first video. If this prediction was to come true, then Trump would win the election with 305 electoral votes, and Joe Biden would lose with 233 electoral votes. Apologies for the error message that kept popping up. I'll try and get that fixed for the next episode, and I've only just realised I forgot to put the candidate's name in these, so I'll do that in the next episode as well. Yep, I think that's all for now. See you next time, and remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and donate to the Patreon. Thank you very much. Bye bye.